100 days in hardcore Minecraft. That alone is difficult and time consuming. To put it in perspective, 100 days in Minecraft is roughly 33 hours of game time alone. In today's video, I survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft in a void-only world. Comparing this to your regular 100-day series is like comparing black from white. It is way harder than regular hardcore Minecraft. Also, I just wanted to say that 80% of my viewers are not currently subscribed. And yes, I'm calling you out right now. Click that subscribe button or I will be very sad. Also, leave a like. It just shows me you want to see 200 days. Anyways, let's begin. I began my day destroying this lovely home. Luckily, they didn't own security cameras, so I got away with it. I started bridging out to explore this village since it was kind of floating. I turned all the wood I gathered from destroying my first house into slabs and started exploring the other floating homes. My second home I explored had one of these houses that had 2 floors. The second floor had 2 villagers in it, which meant if I kept them alive, I would be able to breed them and restart the village. Or I could turn it into a breeding office that I could just keep them there for the rest of eternity. You know, both ideas were looking pretty good. But we're a long way from that even being a thing, so I just want to keep these guys safe so I can get stuff later. I started redesigning the house. Redesigning meaning ripping out their walls for wood. Since obviously they weren't going to be needing them, of course, I would never do it if there was going to... Yep. I also dropped some food on top of the villagers. I don't know if that's how you breed them, but I'm not going to sit here and Google it because I'm too busy right now. I placed my bed on some slabs and placed some extra slabs around it. So, you know, you never can be too careful. It is hardcore mode in a void world. That's honestly, when you start thinking about it, it's pretty terrifying. And that ended day 1. I realized on day 2 that if I turn my render distance to the max, I could see the entire world. I mean, I was in void only, so I knew my computer could handle this until I got into the Nether, but that's a story for the future. I continued to destroy more homes to the villagers that once lived in that town, and I just spent a lot of time getting a lot of materials. I set my eyes for this desert temple in the distance. It didn't look too far, so I began bridging. I had a pit stop at a nearby village and even stole a brewing stand. I'm sure I'll get to use this later. Once nightfall started, I realized I was in a terrible spot. I didn't know whether monsters would spawn on my small line. I was praying they wouldn't. I had made my bed, but I didn't know if I'd get to use it. So I decided to be safest just to run back to it. And after running there, I realized how annoying this process would become. You know, because I had to go on a line everywhere I travel. Not only do I have to, well, run, I have to keep my eye on the screen to make sure I do not fall off. Trust me, I will complain about this process again in the future. On day 3, I accidentally left my game open. I messed up the day cycle, so my day went by too fast. I was taking notes, I'm sorry. But in that time, I was able to continue my line and just get a good look at everything around me. I didn't get anything productive done. I was just saying that. I was just kind of there. Anyways, that ends day 3. I spent my entire day 4 bridging to this desert temple to get a good look at some of the stuff I may get. But if you've never watched a caster video, it wouldn't be a caster video without some bad luck. While creating the staircase up to the temple, I heard some explosions and mined through, hoping it was a creeper. I mined in and discovered there was nothing. Nothing but blocks. Honestly, at that point, I was a little happy that I got a bunch of blocks. Not very happy I didn't get any items. But, you know, I have blocks, so now I can bridge more places. After leaving the desert temple, I spotted a blacksmith in the distance and started bridging towards it. From the bottom of my staircase, of course. The day started to end, and I decided I would try and sleep. Oh, great. My bed just fell into the void. I started hearing a lot of mob sounds, and that was not lovely to my ears, because I could not see where they were coming from. Oh, sorry. And frankly, they terrified me. I had to find a new building with a bed to sleep in that night, and that's when I saw my worst fear. Monsters were spawning on my bridge. Creepers as well. I knew right then and there creepers were going to be a massive issue. If you don't know, creepers actually tend to survive the night and day, and they never die once they spawn, unless you kill them or they blow up. And hopefully the first thing I said where I killed them happens most of the time, but you never know and can never be too careful. Anyways, yeah, that's it for day 4. Day 5. I finally found what was making that noise while I was in the blacksmith. It was utterly terrifying. Just terrifying. I opened the roof to the blacksmith building and I nearly shat myself. I was so scared that there were 3 creepers, 2 zombies, and a skeleton in the roof of one house. In a little house? How is there so many mobs packed in there? I was right. And they reminded me that since there wasn't a place for mobs to spawn naturally, because there was a lot of light, because it's a void, they were going to spawn in weird places by a lot. And finding 3 creepers per roof of a house may become normal, and that is scary. I looted the blacksmith right after, and it had 9 obsidian, so that kind of made up for the scary thing that happened earlier. Also, that means I only need 1 more obsidian to travel to the Nether. But I would wait before I even consider going to the Nether, because I'm naked, and being naked in the Nether is just cause for death. I found a completely fine ship that was just vibing outside of the village. I found myself some pants, so I mean, I was no longer naked. So technically, by my logic earlier I just brought up, I could technically go to the Nether, but still wasn't going to do that. And that ends day 5. I hated this day so much. Let's give you a quick rundown of what occurred on this horrible day. To start off, I had spent most of my day just bridging. A lot of bridging was done. I placed blocks to the point where I could feel my fingers fall off. Right now is also a good time to say that everything is much farther than it actually looks. I look and I'm like, oh, that's pretty close, but in reality I'm like traveling a million blocks and it's not fun at all. Upon reaching the desert temple, because I thought, why not? Give these another shot, because they do spawn 4 chests, and they can have really good loot, like a notch apple or luck. But no, my luck decided to leave me right there at this moment, because once again, I towered up, and I heard absolutely everything inside blow up. I went to investigate and reload on blocks so I could travel somewhere else, but more things decided they would go wrong, because mobs had already spawned in there by the time I got in. So I had to fight the mobs. I'm already terrified as it is, and fighting mobs is not something on my bucket list. Afterwards, I had found plenty of blocks to bridge somewhere else. But I knew right then and there I would need to find a way to loot these desert temples, because they could be one of the only ways I'll ever get diamonds. And diamonds are quite important. Oh yeah, I said this day sucked, right? Yeah, as nightfall approached, I went to go sleep in a nearby house because the desert temple was connected to a village, so upon entering the fresh house with a bed, I messed up again, and my bed fell right into the void. Nice. There were no beds nearby, and I was not about to start traveling because mobs were spawning on the roofs of these houses. On the roofs! Whatever. I was just not going to do anything. I was not going to fight them. I know they had the knockback advantage because they just hit me once and I'm dead. I do not need to be fighting them. Especially skeletons. They can shoot you from a distance. They don't even need to be next to me to hit me, dude. It's insane. I eventually found a place to sleep, but that did not change how challenging this was. I'm incredibly stupid, and these next 5 days were a black screen. I decided I would record in class when Zoob tabbed out my recording software and never tabbed back in. So now I have 5 days of black screen just chilling on my computer. And the lesson plans all recorded. Here's a quick summary of what happened in those 5 days. Get ready because it's a good bit. I worked on the flooring of my compound where I was going to live. Yes, I said compound. This is the 100 Day series, of course. So I might as well steal more ideas than just Yeah, never mind. Whatever. I'm just going to continue calling it that. I was going to live these 100 days. I started adding blocks to the floor so I'd have room to get around, which was a hell of a lot better than these terrifying beams that I built everywhere. I also used bottom slabs so mobs couldn't spawn on there. Still fresh, so I have absolutely no idea if they work. You will figure that out, but I'm trying to fight against the slimes that spawn so frequently for some reason. Why do slimes spawn so frequently? I hate them. They're scary. They hurt me. Honestly, I don't know why they exist, but they spawn a lot for some reason in a void world. I also set up the villager breeder. You don't even want to know what I had to go through to get these villagers in this one room. I had 3 villagers, 1 room. And, you know, you may say, why didn't you just breed the 2 villagers you had in there? They weren't going to breed. They weren't breeding with each other. Yeah, that's how complicated this villager thing was. And that basically sums up these days. I don't know what I'm going to put for background footage, but I'm sure I'll get something. On day 12, I mined out the legs of the witch hut so I could get a good amount of logs, so I could work on making my house. I spent the rest of my day running back home because that's how far it is from my house. I did get a minute to breed and start working on a toolsmith villager and an armorsmith villager so I could get situated, but that's about it for today. This was a very short day because I used it to break legs of a villager hut. Oh, and run back home because this is going to be a very tedious process from now on. Day 13. I spent this entire day working on my house. I really could not decide what I wanted to build. So I just placed blocks randomly until I got something that sort of resembled a house. I mean, it was okay. I mean, I've never been too proud of my building abilities. So I would say it isn't the worst thing mankind has probably ever seen, but it's close. I needed more cobblestone though, so I AFK'd mined some cobblestone until my pickaxe broke. And when I mined out of my safe box, I had a panic attack because the amount of monsters I saw scared me so bad that I sprinted over to my bed and prayed that I would sleep the night, and that most of them would burn in the morning. After morning, the monsters either burned to death or faced death by my Minecraft amazing combat skills. That ends day 13. If I was gonna AFK mine, I was gonna go all in. So I crafted myself a good set of stone pickaxes and started mining. These days were spent AFK mining cobblestone to work on my house. I also set up a bed so I could sleep in the nights to prevent mobs from spawning. Safe to say that idea did not work all too well. I just want to say, this is me from the future coming to tell you right now that this idea, I should have kept this idea. It was a great idea, but you'll figure out why that I should have kept this idea. But anyways, that ends days 14 through 15. I spent my entire day 16 working on my house. It honestly isn't coming together too well. But I'm sure if I just continued placing blocks, I'm sure something will piece itself together. Because that's how that works. And if that doesn't work, then it'll look like I will be living in a garbage house for the next 100 days. But hopefully that's not the case because... I said place. Hopefully that's not the case because I can't even imagine the comments. Oh my gosh, your house looks so bad. My pet goldfish is diabetic and needs a diaper and it can't walk. Could build a better house. Well, we're not comparing houses here. This is my house. And because I'm not a fancy builder, it's my house, not yours. Anyways, that just ends my day 16. I don't know why I got so attached to that. I realized after day 16 this was going to take me a lot of wood. So I started bridging over to nearby houses so I could destroy them for more building materials. After getting the materials needed to finish the house, I continued to work on the roof to get it to look just right. I think I got something going. Honestly, I'm not too sure why I decided to make this weird design, but it's starting to look cool, in my opinion. My next objective is to either get glass or carpet to replace the floor or put glass in the walls for windows. I know a way to get carpet, but I'm not too sure how I'm going to get that glass bit because sand doesn't spawn. I spent my entire day 18 working on improving the design of the house. I'm honestly starting to get a bit worried with how the house was going. But I didn't have enough time to worry about how it looked, so I decided by day 21, no matter what, even if the house wasn't pretty, that it would have to do, because getting work done in a void world is much more difficult than a regular world. Everything I do takes 10 times longer, so I know working on this house is just a huge waste of time. I need to start working on a way to get food, because I was going to be hungry, a hungry man, if I didn't get any food. So I moved the entrance to my house on the other side, because that's going to help me get food. It looked way better, though. It looked way better. Anyways, that was how I ended my day 18. Another day, another house to be destroyed. The first part of day 20 was spent looting villages to get their wool. This was not a great idea. This took a long time. I wanted to make a cool floor pattern, and I'm obsessed with working on this house now. It's an unhealthy obsession. But I knew I had till day 21, so I had to start rushing myself. I went to explore a jungle temple because I've never actually explored a jungle temple before this, and this experience alone is enough to make me never want to explore a jungle temple ever again. This was just a massive waste of my resources. On my way home, the sun started setting and monsters started spawning all over my bridges, and I got trapped in the middle of a bridge. I was very scared, and I almost said screw it and ran in to fight the monsters John Wick style and YOLO it, but I got too scared and I boxed myself in and decided I'd rather wait out the night. Day 21. I mined my way out of my cubbyhole and ran through all the mobs. I took all my cobblestone and decided to travel to a shipwreck in hopes to get more armor because I am quite naked. I mean, but besides my pants. And honestly, I'm going to need armor if I want to get anywhere. I looted all the shipwreck and got a leather helmet, which was quite epic. So I put it on. I don't know if this game just hates me or whatever, but this is my third desert temple that blew up before I could even get close. At this point, I'm starting to get frustrated because that's fine because I at least got more blocks so I could expand the floor of my compound. But I'm sure the loot in that temple would have outweighed the amount of blocks I got, which is quite frustrating. I officially give up on desert temples. For now. I'm sure I'll go back. I just spent my time on day 23 building to this boat, or bridging out, I guess. I haven't reached the boat yet, so I don't know if it was worth. You'll find out if I regret my time in just a moment. And when I say time, I mean all the entire day I spent building to this boat. So I'd be quite frustrated if it didn't have anything good. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed, but a protection 4 helmet, I mean, there's worse I could have gotten. This and villager trading are my only way I can actually get any armor. So I'm taking my time. I'm learning as I go. I think I'm going to go ahead and look for one more boat. Then I'm going to go back and make a mob farm so I can start making stuff to sell to villagers in exchange for emeralds. I explored another boat but found absolutely nothing significant. So I traveled home, which took my entire day, and started preparing to make a mob farm. So I had to set myself up and start AFK mining cobblestone for a day or 2, maybe 3. I need to make a mob farm so I can finally get myself some stonks going, and I'd be able to travel myself to the Nether. Actually, I could go to the Nether whenever I want. I'm just stalling at this point. Day 26 through 27, I spent these days AFK mining for cobblestone to work on an XP farm. I worked on my XP farm. I forgot to record it, so I have to use shadow play, so the quality isn't very good, but I got a lot of work with the XP farm done. On day 29, I went on a killing spree of all the mobs and had my first near-death experience from a creeper that snuck up behind me, and honestly, it was too scary for me. I almost immediately went back to AFK mining because of that. And when I would try to sleep after mining, mobs were just spawning like crazy, so I realized that I need to put up torches. That was my plan for the next day. I really didn't feel like dealing with these mobs everywhere anymore. They were getting too annoying, and they were spawning too fast and too many that I can't even fight them anymore. I've just had to wait the entire day out. Yeah, I couldn't even sleep because I got the monsters are too near you and stuff like that. So I waited my day out and continued to mine cobblestone. Day 30 through 33. I spent these days both fighting monsters that spawned, mainly slimes, and building my XP farm. I'm more looking forward to getting rotten flesh so I could level up a cleric villager, so I could get myself an ender pearl trade that I could begin my journey to the end, because I know that will be my biggest pain. I only need to get one eye of ender so I could find the stronghold, since everything is, well, empty. So I will just see the building and I'll know where I am. I was very happy to actually have finished the XP farm. Look at how happy I was. Forgive me, I was watching YouTube at the same time of me recording this, but look at my reaction. It was pretty cool. I don't know if I can get this in the video, but this is my first time getting an XP farm to work, and I'm so happy. Oh my god, it's so good, dude. Look at this. Boom, boom, die. So loud, though. Oh my god. Okay, hey guys, I don't do a lot of these live commentary parts, but you know what? Take a look at my place. It looks beautiful. I got torches on me. I think right now I'm gonna go light up everything, so I don't have to worry about mob spawning, because they happen a lot. And you know what? Last thing I need is for it to become night, and I come here and I get bullied. Death is not fun, so we will be we'll be erasing the possibility of death by placing light source everywhere. You know, sometimes you have to sacrifice looks for comfort. Yeah. And not to mention, they are very annoying. This slime boy, die. Alright, we should be good. But, yeah. I'm really happy. That pretty much sums up my day. I think I might kill the iron golem so I can get a chest plate, because I have almost enough stuff to get a chest plate, but I just gotta kill the guy. So I am sorry for what I'm about to do. This should be 3 blocks tall. All right. I hope I'm tall enough where I don't have to worry about him hitting me. I'm sorry, I don't want to kill you. You've saved my life many times, but I need your iron. I'm sorry. All right, 3 iron. That's exactly what I need. Days 34 through 37. I spent these days just doing chores. Mining cobblestone generator, killing mobs, for more items, nothing interesting. I think the most advanced thing that happened was that I moved the generator, so I'm just going to skip until day 38. I spent this day working on going to the Nether. Since I practically had the resources, I just needed one more obsidian block, but to do that, we were going to need to run to the blacksmith at one of our villages to get one more lava bucket, because I was not about to ruin my perfectly good cobblestone generator in order to travel to the Nether. But the wood was being stubborn that day that I was trying to burn, and yeah, that was not quite fun. I couldn't get the portal to work with that current design, so I redid the design and found a way to get it to work. I got quite happy to the point where I instantly tabbed out and wrote this exact message I'm reading aloud to you. Hi. Day 40. On this day, I visited the Nether. I spawned in a small cave, which was unfortunate, but after getting through the cave, I found that it was in a crimson forest, which meant I was able to get myself a good supply of wood. So that's what I did. I went back to the overworld, or overworld, more like void world, and prepared myself to start bridging. And then I realized I would need blaze powder if I wanted to find the portal room. So I decided I would go back to the Nether, to get myself blaze rods. I was watching a movie this entire time, so I decided I would wait before I go to explore the Nether, because I'd rather be focused than not, so on. So I just chopped down more trees. I spent this day breaking trees in the Nether so I could have a large supply of wood. I had a few close calls when having to fight hoglins. I nearly panicked at some points, but I was able to kill every one of them that came after me. I was going to continue mining wood, and towards the end, I noticed that my shield was about to break. And I knew that if it broke while I was fighting the hoglins, I'd probably die. Not because the hoglins would out-hit me, I would just panic to the point where I would accidentally jump into lava or something. Honestly, I'm more scared of myself killing myself than anything killing me. Because I am bad. And the mobs are just programmed to be bad. So it's more likely that human error steps in and causes my badness to get worse. I don't know where I'm going with that. That's the end of day 41. I was killing mobs in my XP farm to start out my day, and I killed a skeleton wearing iron armor. And he dropped what he was wearing, so I immediately went to grab his stuff. Unfortunately, it was garbage. Absolute garbage. I remember that this stuff was sucked. They were all on nearly destroyed durability, which means I couldn't even use it if I wanted to. The rest of this day was spent exploring the Nether. I didn't take notes or write in my script. For some reason, I was stupid enough not to, so I'm going purely off memory right now. I remember I kind of got lost, but the Crimson Forest that I found in the Nether is massive. It is huge. It literally is the entire Nether to me. I've not seen anything. Well, besides a Bastion in the distance, but we're not going to talk about that because I have a horrible experience with Bastions and will never explore one ever again. Until I get rich and OP, but that's later on. And I got lost. I had to go back. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get back till day 43. And on day 43, I finally managed to get myself home. And once I got home, I immediately killed mobs in my XP farm and kind of took a break. Because I just felt like taking a break. Yeah. Day 44. I spent this entire day in the Nether. I eventually found the Nether fortress, which was fantastic. You know, that's what I was looking for. While I was looting the fortress to get the items that I would be able to use in the void world, I discovered a closed blaze spawner. And that's the best type of blaze spawner if you didn't know, because they won't fly away on you. Which means that I can farm blazes and I wouldn't have to worry about them flying everywhere, which is cool. And I think I'd already said that, but yeah, this would make this process so much easier than it would be without. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of was terrifying. I had probably 4 experiences that I had near-death panic happening and farming the blaze. You know, I mean, farming blaze in part iron and gold is not the safest thing to do, and I advise against that for future reference, but it got the job done, so. I got a total of 11 blaze rods. I also got a full stack of 64 netherite from the fortress. That means I don't have to go back. I can make my farm in the overworld, and I'm pretty good. All I need now is glass to start glass. Sand does not spawn. Oh, wow. I didn't think that through. I left the Nether and went straight to sleep. I didn't have to deal with all the monsters. That would probably lead me to my death. I didn't record me using the first eye, but at least I knew the direction of where the stronghold was. I placed a bridge, added a sign that said, "Bridge to the stronghold." Little did I know how tedious this process was going to be, because this is like, the thing was like a million blocks away. It was insane. I spent the rest of the day bridging towards the stronghold, not because I want to enter it, I just want to know where it is and be ready for it. But I know that strongholds have iron and diamonds and stuff like that, so hopefully I can find myself some armor, because I was dirt poor. It was not good. But this would make my 100 days experience a lot better if I just could. And I can worry about fighting the dragon anytime. I bridged all day. But towards the end of the bridging session, I could see the stronghold in the distance. But I was not seeing a regular stronghold, just the portal room, which confused me, but I was hoping chests would just be floating. Yeah, we'll figure that out the closer we get. On day 47, I actually had to go back home because I ran out of resources. So, I would have to wait until day 48, where I actually made it to the stronghold and discovered there are no chests, just a portal room and a library, which is rather disappointing. But you know what? At least I know where to go when I want to fight the dragon. And believe me, I wish I fought the dragon sooner. Days 49 through 55. I worked on the iron farm this entire time. I've never actually made one before, so I was pretty iffy about everything. But luckily, after like 3 or 4 attempts, everything started to work smoothly. Ignore the amount of garbage everywhere. I did this to prevent iron golems from spawning not in my cage, which it's safe to say didn't work too great, but I mean, it did the job. I got some iron. But I'm not showing you inside of the iron golem murder cage. That is just gruesome, and I'll probably get demonetized if I show it. Anyways, I also spent some time gathering wood and then got myself a complete set of iron armor. I also made improvements to the XP farm by adding hoppers at the bottom, so now I could efficiently trade with my villagers. So I could start working on getting diamond armor from trading. Yes, that's what I was resorting to. I honestly didn't think about the other opportunities I had to get diamond armor. I don't know why this is what I was doing. It was a huge waste of time. And that's basically these entire days shorted up into as physically as possible, small, yeah. In the real world, though, I watched a movie, and I'm now about to watch a second movie and record the next 10 days. So yeah, if you guys ever wanted to know how I get these days done, that's what I do. According to my notes, days 55 through 59 were very eventful, but I didn't feel like taking the notes on these days. I don't know why. So I went to review all the footage, and I just lied to myself. There was nothing done that was eventful. I just tested my iron farm and made improvements, and then at the end of on day 59, I just mined wood. Why did I say these days were eventful? There was nothing eventful about these days. I just did nothing. This is the problem when you watch a movie while playing. You start getting lost in the movie, and then you just kind of like only half play. So from now on, I will no longer be watching movies while playing. On day 60, I was being chased by an iron golem. I was a little scared. By the way, this day is in a repeat of day 55 to 59. There was nothing eventful done. I was still watching the movie. I spent my day 61 through 62 trying to loot a bastion. Yeah, I went back to the Nether, and I'm pretty swag for doing so. I nearly died, and here's why. You guys know I'm normally anti-Bastion because they are full of death, and I hate death, especially when it deletes my world. So I had to come up with a master game plan to not die. I took a bow with me, and bowed everything from a distance so I could freely take their loot. And because, you know, I'm terrified of confrontation. My goal was to get diamonds, because the alternative way to get diamonds was by trading, and I'm starting to really lose my patience, and I'm also running out of days to trade. So I don't have that luxury at the moment. So I decided it would be better to try to get diamonds by this way, or by going to the boats in the overworld, or even desert temples. I was thinking I might give a desert temple another shot, even though it's betrayed me every time before. But forget everything. I need diamonds. I can't enchant without diamonds. I can't get netherite without diamonds. I can't progress without diamonds. Iron tools are getting really annoying. I need diamonds. That's all I need to know. But I continue to farm from a distance, murdering every single enemy in the Nether until I... oh no. No, I ran out of arrows. Oh. It's okay. I got it. I nearly died, like usual, but I got a nice bit of stuff. I got 2 netherite ingots and some ancient debris. You know, stuff I can't use. The usual. So my next goal was to find a new bastion, but then I realized I didn't have enough food and nearly starved today on my way home on day 62. Bad decisions were made. Actually, they weren't that bad. I got some stuff. I'm just imagining that. Day 63 through 64. I worked on trading and getting ready to fight the dragon. I was getting fed up with traveling by block placement. Oh, it was annoying me. And you know what? If I had an elytra, I wouldn't have to worry about that. I could just fly. I could be my own dragon. So all I have to do is kill a dragon, rob a city, and I'm good. So my game plan was to try to fight the dragon. And, you know, before I can even talk about getting an elytra, I should probably talk about surviving a dragon fight or winning a dragon fight, which I really didn't think through, because I don't think I've ever fought a dragon without wearing diamond armor, or at least won a fight with a dragon. So that's something I needed to take into account. But I've seen people beat the Ender Dragon in iron armor before, so I was pretty confident. Even less sometimes. But I'm not a speedrunner. I'm a casual Minecraft player. Anyways, yeah. On day 65, I set out for the stronghold. but it's a really long distance, so I had to sleep on my bridge in the middle of it. On day 66, I woke up and continued to run to the portal room because that's all the stronghold was left. There's nothing else but a portal room. So I jumped in, and thus began my dragon fight. Okay, now play the cool music. On day 67, I was triumphant. I made up my own word because that's how victorious I felt. So I went to go get an elytra, and I want to make it clear, I died. Not died. I nearly died many times. In fact, just watch this montage of more intense music just to get you to keep watching over a really not that intense battle. I'm sorry, but it was kind of intense. I almost died. I'm sorry. I'm going crazy recording this. Enjoy. Quick intermission from your regularly scheduled content. This is Diego. Diego is my best friend for like 5 years. And I took a break in real life, you know, from recording these 100 days to remember that life exists more than just Minecraft. It's hard to believe. And I told this guy I would find a way to squeeze him into my next video if he took a handful of Carolina Reaper jelly beans and ate them. Am I a terrible person for offering this? Absolutely. But do I regret it? Absolutely not. Alright, enjoy.
I'm gonna die.
Dude, I can't even look at you.
Did you take any?
No, I took one, but...
Ooh, that burns.
Oh, that burns.
On day 68, oh, day 68, I finished getting my elytra and a lot of diamond tools and items. I forgot NCD chests were loaded. Oh my gosh, they were loaded. And that was the way to go. That's from right then there, I knew that was how I was going to get all my stuff. That's clearly the superior way. Trading can suck my bum. All right? So, I don't know why I was trying to trade with villagers. I realized this is a much more efficient process. Should have been doing this from the beginning. The only bad part about today was on my way home from the end portal. For some reason, I phased through the floor and into the void and died. I think that's only fair, okay? This wasn't my fault, okay? I didn't die. It was the game. The game broke, okay? And I think it's only fair that I use some magical powers to revive myself. And that's what I did. And if you have a problem with that, then you're no fun. Alright, well, look, I'm alive again. On day 69, the best day, arguably, for the 100-day series, I immediately got to getting food because my supply was next to none, and then did I, the most important thing, began trying to get a mending book. Why did I read that so wrong? I had a typo right there, and I just couldn't read. My brain went to mush. I tried getting a mending book for my elytra, which is a smart thing to do. And when I say this process took 20 days, roughly, it took 20 days. And you'll figure out my pain as we go through. It was no easy process. When I originally wrote this script, I didn't realize how boring these next 15 or so days are. So I decided I would redo it, condense it into the smallest amount of time possible to be the most entertaining. Enjoy. So here I am from the future to save you guys. Wow, very noble of you, caster. Day 70, I got a mending trade for very cheap.
Super cheap.
Day 71, I didn't have the emeralds to buy a mending trade, nor could I lock it in. So I just lost the trade by the end of the day. Day 72, I turned another villager into a cleric so he would trade me rotten flesh for some juicy cash. Day 73, I spent half the day working on a mending villager, gave up, and began re-enchanting my armor and tools. I got unbreaking on my elytra, even though it was close to breaking anyways. Yeah. Day 74, I got a new mending villager, and I made sure he couldn't escape and change his trade. Or at least that's how I thought it worked. Day 75, he changed his trade. Day 76, I decided I'd stock up on emeralds, so no matter what the price was, I'd be able to afford it. And on day 79, I began a quest to get a new mending villager. Oh, I must have gotten mad because I murdered him. Day 80, I got wood from the Nether because I had to wait for villagers to birth me a new trader. Day 81, I started to redesign my mob farm. Day 82, it began construction on said mob farm. Day 83, I continued to work on the new and improved mob farm. Day 84, I got a new mending villager, but he was asking 36 emeralds from me. Suck my... Day 85, same thing, new day. Except he was a little nicer and offered me a discount of 2 emeralds. Day 86, I finally got my ideal mending trade, but I wasn't recording, so here's a crappy clip of me getting it and doing my little dancey dance. And now that I had a mending villager and a mending book on my elytra, it was time to explore the world on day 87. I did a lot of exploration. Enjoy these next 5 days of exploration. Footage could not be found for days 88 through 90, but I can tell you what happened. I explored a lot of desert temple and boats, and I have plenty of video clips I'm just gonna put over so you guys can see me flying around. That is basically all I did. Huge waste of time. I knew that if I wanted to get myself situated, I was gonna need to go end city loot hunting, so that's what I did. I see you guys here on day 91, where I did some end city looting, and yes, I didn't get any diamond boots, but I got diamonds so I can make myself diamond boots, and I made myself diamond boots, and I was very a happy man. And this is where I began the process of building a new home, because I worked on a house at the beginning of these 100 days, but it was certainly not pretty. Well, okay, maybe at one point, but it's a little beat up now. So I started tearing down the house and completely redesigning it, just so I could have a nice, pretty house to end these 100 days on. When I make 200 days, I do plan on making everything look a lot nicer now that I have the resources and capabilities. But yeah, days 92 through 99 were spent making a house pretty. I know, huge waste of time. On day 100, I just added finishing touches to the house and really reflected on what we did here in a void world. It's truly impressive. I do like to undermine what I did a lot, but we came a long way. I have farms. I have, well, not food farms. That's still a long way to go because we still need to get dirt. But I have farms. I have iron farms. I have mob farms. I have full netherite or part netherite and diamond armor. I have good tools. I have an elytra. I can travel wherever I want. It was a good time to be alive. And being right there when you have everything ready, I just wanted to play more. But I held off because this is the 100 Days series and I want to give you guys an opportunity to watch. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching these 100 days. I appreciate it so much. And it is just a huge blessing to record these videos for you guys. So if you did enjoy, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to Not PaulGG for coming up with the Void World 100 Days idea. And even in fact, using his seed and his data pack just meant the world. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the little mini montage on your screen I took. And if you wanted to know the shader pack I was using for these, I was using CUDA shaders. Anyways, I love you guys all. Peace.